Well, guys, we're doing it. We're taking the Chevy Silverado and mixing it with the Camaro. It's only the right thing to do because we've been doing Dodge, we've been doing Ford, so the only thing left is to do Chevy, and I think Rosie here agrees as well. So here we go. Let's copy the front end of this Chevy. There's a lot of cat hair going on here right now. So hopefully I'm not gonna get an allergic reaction here breathing all of this stuff in. What I'm gonna do is take the ZL1 Camaro and smack that onto the face of the Chevy Silverado here. I think this is the best, most aggressive looking front end of the Camaro, so that's the one I want to take. Not a huge fan of the most recent Camaros, as I think Chevy knows themselves that it wasn't really a big hit having the front end with the logo kind of in the bar in the middle of the grid. It was just weird. It's just I'm gonna show it here. It's not a good looking design, so they switched that up pretty quickly the next year, or I think even mid-year they just released a new facelift because I guess nobody was buying that front end. But the thing here, what I did is I was so surprised at how well this actually works. It looks like it could actually be a truck from Chevy with this Corvette Camaro front end here. What should we call it? It's gonna be a let's see, Chevy Silverado or Chevy Corrado, something like that. I guess would suit the name of this car. Come up with some names for me down below in the description, because I'm not really good at coming up with new names for these cars that we're doing here on the channel. But Silverado, I think, is the way to go with this truck here. So we're gonna design the Chevy Silverado, add some details in the front, and I think the grille, the air intake in the front is a little too hefty for a truck of this size. It suits the ZL1, but it doesn't really suit a truck, so I'm gonna have to squish the front end down a little bit and have more of not a bumper, but something that covers the grille and the top end of it, because this grille just looks ridiculous on this truck. As I said, it works on the Camaro, but it's not working on the truck. So that's one of the details that I'm gonna change all the way in the end of this video here. Other than that, it was a pretty straightforward design, which is why this video is not that long, because it wasn't really any difficult parts to fuse these two faces together. I'm also going to change a little bit on the side of the car here, or the truck. Is still cat hair flying around. So I'm still going to change a little bit on this side. I'm going to add some sportier wheels and tires onto this truck here. One of the challenges when you do that is if you're gonna have like 20, what do you have on the Camaro? I think like 20s, maybe 21-inch wheels on the ZL1, and add that to this. You got to make sure that it looks the same on the opposite side of the truck. If you're gonna change this side, you also have to change the far side of the wheel. So I'm gonna show you how I do that later in the video as well. Talking about these retro muscle cars in general, I think when they first came out, and I think the Mustang came out in 2005 or 6 maybe, with the first really retro-inspired Mustang design. It was supposed to be like a modern version of the 67 Mustang or something like that. I think the first iteration of all of these, the Challengers, the Camaro, and the Mustang, the first ones were, I think, the best ones. When it comes to the Mustang, I think the 2010 version is a little better looking than the first iteration from 2005, because it looks sportier while still maintaining that beefy muscle car feel of the original, but it still looks a little sleeker in the front end. The 2005, if you look at the front end, you have the grille and the headlights is almost the same height as the lower part of the bumper and the air intakes. There's not a lot of movement there, but when they updated it for 2010, they changed the ratio between the bumper and the headlights, and it looks more dynamic in the front end, as I said, while still keeping the muscle car feel. The best one to date there is no question, that is definitely the Dodge Challenger, because that looks still like the first iteration. All they did was just update the taillights and the headlights and all the graphics of the car, but the proportions of the car is still the same as when it were released. I can't remember when the first one, like 2000 and I have no idea, 12 maybe, 13, something like that. They were the latest in the game too, though. So it's been around for about 10 years. Camaro, though, and Mustang, if we look at the current generations of the Camaro and the Mustang, they're not really muscle cars anymore. They're more tilted towards sports and handling. Sports cars and you know, handling cars. Not really a muscle car, not in the driving feel and not in the styling either. They look more like a regular sports car now, but that's what I love the Challenger, because they retained the original spirit of what a sports muscle car is supposed to be. Just look at the Demon. It's just it can't even put that power. I mean, the Demon can, but the Hellcats, for example, they can't even put the power down. It's just ridiculous. They have 800 horsepower, but you can barely use it because you can't put the power down on those wheels. If you have the Demon with the slicks, you might be able to get some power down, but they're just supposed to be insanely overpowered cars to have a lot of fun and to burn some rubber in. And I think the Challenger is definitely the one that definitely symbolizes that spirit of the original muscle cars the best among the three here. Mustang right now is a proper sports car. It's a really good handling car, specifically the not Mach E, the Mach 1 and the GT350 and GT500. They're definitely sports car in the correct term, so they can actually go around the track in a decent speed and handle the corners as well, not just in a straight line. Camaro is kind of similar to Mustang as well. A lot more sports car and a lot more handling built into the cars these days. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just glad to see that the Dodge Challenger still retained the original muscle car straight line. It can't really corner that well, but hey, that's not what it's supposed to do. That's the problem with car design and cars today, is that they want to be so many things. They try to be good at so many things that they're great at nothing. And I think that's a mistake. I think we should still have the different kind of categories for the cars out there. So this is my fuse of the Camaro with the Silverado. And actually, I think it works pretty well here. It's crazy to say, but I think this actually works and could be a legit Chevy product. I don't know, let me know what you think below. Keep the suggestions for fuse faces, or whatever we're gonna call this series. Fuse faces sounds good. And let me know what you want to see in the future. Maybe we can make a video just like this on those two cars. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.